everybody, good evening, welcome to That's Football for our third Euros watch-along of the day, and it's the big one. It's Austria against France, the first opportunity to look at what many people would describe as the favourites of this tournament, but also they're up against what I would describe as potentially one of the dark horses of the tournament. Certainly somebody I would love to see do well is Ralf Rangnick and Austria, but it will be tough. It will be very tough. Welcome to the Members Club, Mamancini and Nevsta. You're very, very welcome, as always. Why did Spain choose Luis Enrique over Pep, says Red Void. And 3-0 to France, says Hamad. Look, there'll be hot favourites in this game. There's no doubt about that. Look at that kit. It looks very nice on there, actually, doesn't it? In fact, let's pause it and let's just have a quick look at the French side, because I tell you what, it looks lovely. It looks lovely. It looks like a team that's been to 3 finals out of the last 4. It looks like a team that's ready to come and conquer these Euros in Germany. And it's certainly a team that I think anybody that has aspirations of winning this tournament will be watching tonight and thinking, how good are the French going to come here? Magnon in goal, Hernandez, Upamecano. Saliba does start. Now, he doesn't normally start for the French, so I think a lot of Arsenal fans and French fans will be very, very excited by that, because he doesn't normally start. I don't know who normally does start at centre-back. I think they play Canate, don't they, normally? But he is on the bench. So it's Hernandez, Upamecano, Saliba and Koundé. Rabiot, Kante, and I feel like I've gone back in time 6 years. Kante playing for France. What's going on there? I mean, is that normal? The guy was a Premier League legend at Chelsea and Leicester, but he's not somebody I expected to be seeing in a French squad. But it's Kante and Rabiot, and then it's Griezmann, Dembele, Mbappe and Thuram. And again, I thought maybe Giroud would start. So there's a few, I mean, you look at their bench, by the way. Areola, Barcola, Camavinga, Klaus, Koeman, Fofana, Giroud, Muani, Konate, Mendy, Samba, Tchouaméni, Zaire-Emery. I mean, you look at the depth of squad that England and maybe Portugal have got, but then you look at the French squad, they've got Pavard on the bench, Konate on the bench, Zaire-Emery on the bench, Tchouaméni on the bench, Camavinga on the bench, Giroud on the bench, Barcola on the bench, Koeman on the bench, Muani on the bench. It's a hell of a team. It's a hell of a squad. And yeah, it is amazing. I mean, Toro says, how is Kante starting in DM over Tchouaméni and Fofana? I mean, how is Camavinga not starting for France? You know, they have, for me, an amazing squad, and I understand why people have them as favourites. But France normally play Varane in Saliba's spot. Yeah, but Varane hasn't played in a very long time, mate. I don't think that's not who I was referring to. Maybe we can get a little bit of clarity. Well, we easily can. This is something we do. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe, by the way. You're all very, very welcome. But if you look at, let's have a look at France's most competitive game they played before this. 14-0 against Gibraltar. I don't think we need that one. Away to Greece in November. Saliba did start in that game. Griezmann, Giroud, Dembele, Muani, Rabiot, Fofana, Saliba, Hernandez, and Koundé. France, Netherlands back in the autumn. Konate played with Hernandez. Rabiot, Tchouaméni, Griezmann, Muani, Mbappe, and Koeman. I mean, look, there's so many good players there. They can mix and match, can't they? They can try different combinations. It's just an amazing squad, and I don't think there's many French people who bat an eyelid when they see that Konate's on the bench or Camavinga's on the bench, because they've just got so many good players. That French team is just incredible. It's incredible, and I suppose at the end of the day, they've got to come and deliver here. But what I will say is that the Austrians are extremely well organised under Ralf Rangnick and have done well since he's taken over them. I mean, he was offered the Bayern Munich job, wasn't he, a few weeks ago? Decided not to take it. Maybe a multitude of reasons why that was, but he now is managing in a group that has got the Dutch and the Polish in, so it's a tough group to get out of. And you know, Austria will certainly do well to do that. I think any team is going to do well to get points out of this French team, so it probably doesn't define Austria and their hopes of getting out the group if they were to get beat by the French today. I think most people expect that. I certainly do. But what I'm looking at with the French, with the Austrians tonight, is how well organised they are. I mean, how do you approach a game like this? Do you sit back and defend? Do you go more on the front foot? And I feel that it will certainly be interesting to watch a... Why can't I find France against the Netherlands? They're playing Austria, aren't they? France, Austria. Where's France? Okay. Sorry, this is something completely... It's just not there. Belgium, Romania. Belgium, Slovakia. France, Netherlands. Italy, Albania. Spain, Denmark, England, Croatia. It's not there. Yabba dabba do. Ah, oh, dear. Okay, sorry. Okay. Let me come back to the chat. Completely lost my thoughts there. Yeah, Austria. Let's have a look at their team. They are obviously going to be the underdogs in this game. And let me just move over to that. There we are. There it is. I don't know why Austria are invisible. Austria. Let's have a look at that. See if we can get that back again. Oh, sorry, everybody. I think that's being fixed. I'll read it out to you anyway. Arnautovic is on the bench for Austria. That's a name you would certainly know. But Pence, Moeni, Wober, Danzo, Posch, Grilch, Sewald, Baumgartner, Sabitzer, and Lehmer, and Gregoric. That is how Austria are lining up. If I was to tell you that Austria are in the world... What did I write down about Austria? I think this book is becoming actually far more important in this tournament than I ever planned it to be. Austria are ranked 25 in the world. Their weakness is defence with no Alaba, but their strength is their midfield. So I think that's going to be very interesting, isn't it, as to how they can cope with a French side that is swarming with talent. But you might know some of these players from... a lot of them playing in Germany, funnily enough. Gregoric is a Freiburg striker. Arnautovic is on the bench. A few people mentioning him in the chat. But Lehmer we will know from Bayern Munich. I was forgetting where... Yeah, definitely Bayern Munich. Sabitzer, obviously, is in Dortmund. Let me just go through the... Oh, God, what's going on here? Loads of stuff's going wrong for me at the moment. I've lost my chat now. Where are we? There we are. There we are. Be ready for a Ralph masterclass. He's cooking, says lifelong United fan and Chelsea season ticket holder. Rabiot and Kante midfielder with no Camavinga, says Connor. He's not happy. And I can't stomach Deschamps' Dembele fetish anymore. I like Dembele, Cisco. I thought in the World Cup that was one of the most exciting aspects of the French squad was their wing play with Mbappe and Dembele on the other side. HSK says, what's your ideal Southgate replacement within reason? I don't know whether there is. And Dino says, upgrade Studio TV to HD, mates. What are you even talking about? What are you even talking about? We don't even show you the game. Don't know what you're talking about, Dino. And how was Kante starting over Chouaminga? We've spoken about that as well. But as I said, Pence, Mwane, Wuba, Danzo and Posh are the back four for them. And you've got Grilch, Sewald, Baumgartner in their team as well. Grilch is also in the German league at Hoffenheim. You may well have known that. Baumgartner, obviously, you will know from Leipzig as well. And just looking through their squad in relation to David Alaba, of course. He's been injured this season for Real Madrid. Bologna, Posh, they've had a good season as well. Danzo and Wuba are both... Borussia Mönchengladbach and Lens, respectively. But there's not really a player that jumps out at a major club. And I think that's what, apart from Lehmer, who plays for Bayern Munich, that's sort of what they are all about, Austria. There are some of their parts. They're very similar, I think, to Czech Republic and Switzerland in that sense, that these are teams that could do well in the tournament because they're all sort of on the same level in relation to they don't really have a star. It's about managing. Big shout out to Slovakia, by the way. I'm sure some of you were watching the watch-alongs this afternoon with Will and Zach, and a fantastic win for them. Fantastic. We've still had no 0-0. Not so sure about the Austrian tracksuits, sort of shell suit I used to wear in the early 90s. But that's not what it's going to be all about. It's going to be about what happens on the pitch. And we are excited and ready to go for this as the players prepare to walk out onto this pitch. I was going to say, could we get one of our first shocks of the tournament? But Yusuf says, what was your thoughts on the Belgium performance? I'm not a big fan of Belgium. I said this in my preview of the tournament. I'm supporting Ralph, says SK. Come on, Austria. I said this before the tournament. I think Belgium's days of being everybody's dark horse is about a decade ago. I don't rate Belgium. I don't think they are a good team. And was it the last tournament? Was it the World Cup where they were absolute shite? You look at the team and you go, oh yeah, they've got some good players, but they're almost like the new Dutch. When I was growing up, everyone thought the Dutch were going to be good and there'd always be internal problems. I mean, why is Courtois not playing even in that squad? What's that all about for a start? He played in the bloody Champions League final. He's a goalkeeper. Why have they not taken Courtois? And I think Belgium is mid is a very good point from Young. I think they've probably still got a chance of going through because of the group that they're in with Ukraine and Romania. They've still got 6 points to play for, but I don't see them doing anything in this tournament. I mean, look, at the end of the day, Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia the first game in the World Cup and then won it. So these things can happen, but I don't know about that. Jacob says, Giroud masterclass incoming. You've got to be in it to win it, and he's on the bench, mate. Simple as that. Apparently Courtois fell out with the coach, says Alex. Personal problems with the coach, says Name. And hat-trick Mbappe. I don't think De Bruyne ever really turns up for Belgium in a major tournament, does he? I mean, he's one of the world's best players, but I don't know. I watched Belgium in the World Cup and I sort of felt that they just don't seem to play as a team. Haaland to Madrid, could you imagine that, says Adrian. I'm sure it'll happen at some point. Maybe not Madrid, but I'm sure it will happen. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Thank you for the early super chats. You can do that through the $sign. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Zach was brilliant, mate, says Carl. Very, very good addition to the watch-alongs, actually. I was watching them this afternoon while I was doing some work. Austria to knock out Portugal so that Ronaldo remember who Ralf Rangnick is, says Abjet. And Kevin Carter says, I've been saying all day to anybody who'll listen that Mbappe will get a hat-trick. I hope that you're right about that. Lovely stuff. Our podcast is out today, by the way. Goldbridge Saves Football. Enjoyed recording that today. Check it out on Spotify. You're very, very welcome. Ultras. Let's have a look at this Austrian team then. I think Matt, our editor, has changed it now, so we should have them in the correct kit. Is this it? That's France. Okay. Match stats. Tournament ID, yeah. Doesn't seem to want to... Oh, I tell you what, I get bloody fed up with this. What's going on here? It's not there again now. Stats. Away team, home team. Okay, we'll let that take care of itself. I can't be arsed with any of this stuff at the moment. Mark, I've lost my pet monkey, says Irish lad. And Mark, what are your thoughts on Belgium, Slovakia? Very good result for Slovakia. Fantastic result for them. But I wouldn't say I was that surprised about Belgium. What do you think of the Romania game? I haven't spoken about that one at all, Danny. Yeah, I didn't really watch the Romania game. I was more listening to the watch-along. But I saw some of the goals. Well, I saw all 3 goals. And but it is very, very interesting, I think, how that game, I think a lot of people had Ukraine down to win it. And there we go. There's the Austrian team for you now. We're cooking now. It's working. But I mean, look, that group has been blown wide open, hasn't it? You would have thought Ukraine and Belgium would win. They've both lost. I think the next game for those two is going to be very, very interesting because for Belgium, their next game is Romania and Slovakia play Ukraine. So I think that Belgium have got to beat Romania. Otherwise, they're in big, big, big trouble. Don't forget, tomorrow it will be the turn of Portugal. There's no 2 o'clock game tomorrow. It's the only day of the first 10 days of the Euros where there's no 2 o'clock game. So Turkey, Georgia is at 5 o'clock. And then Portugal complete the first round of group games against Czech Republic. We're really looking forward to that. But then on Wednesday, we're back with 2 o'clock games again, all the way through until Sunday. So no 2 o'clock game tomorrow, but it's a bit of an anomaly because there will be 2 o'clock games back on Wednesday. Don't know why that's worked out. Say Southgate wins it. Should he stay or simply go? I think he'd stay. I think he'll stay anyway, Jacob, really. I think they'll keep Southgate, won't they? Turkey, Georgia's boring, says Masson. Not for me. Kvaratskhelia plays for Georgia and Güler plays for Turkey. I'm actually really... I was on the Football Fill-In podcast today with Ben Foster and Watto. And there was a section in it saying, what is the thing you're most looking forward to in the Euros over the next few days? And I said, Güler for Turkey gets so much hype on That's Football Chat. And... I've barely seen him because he's hardly played for Real Madrid, I think because of injury. So, you know, we've seen Lamel for Yamal for Barcelona, and I've seen him at Barcelona, and we've seen him obviously playing for Spain the other day. But I've seen nothing of Güler really. So I'm really excited to watch Turkey tomorrow. And look, Georgia probably on paper the worst team in the tournament, but they have got Kvaratskhelia. So I don't think that's a crap game at all. And I think the reason why Portugal's exciting is obvious because they're a bit like France and England. They've got such a massive amount of talent. But I think that the upside of Turkey, Georgia is the education the modern football fan has, in the sense that Georgia, Turkey 10 years ago probably would be a dead rubber game that you weren't interested in. But you now look at it and you go, well, Kvaratskhelia plays for Georgia, Güler plays for Turkey. Turkey went into one of the last tournaments as supposedly the dark horse and didn't get out of the tournament. Maybe this tournament they will actually deliver with not a lot of hype. Do you agree that Simons is one of the most overrated players, says Goldio? I presume you're talking about Xabi Simons, or however you pronounce his first name. Dragusin was fantastic for Romania, Marks is bored out. Well, I saw, correct me if I'm wrong, but in the Romania game, weren't they 3-0 up with 28% possession or something like that? As I say, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure I read that when I was watching the watch-along, that they had like 30% possession or something. Well, I tell you what, you don't even need to tell me. I can look for myself. 3-0 to Romania. Match stats. Yeah, 28.7% possession. Ukraine had 71.3% possession. And they lost 3-0. And with 28.7% possession, they had 5 shots on target. Ukraine only had 2. So, like the wolf on the door of the pig brick house, it was all huff and all bluff from Ukraine. By the way, Neville and Will both agree with me. Bellingham and Foden ahead of Rice would risk our defence. I think Mainu or Gallagher must start. No Trent, says Goldio. I disagree. Goldio. I think that Trippier's going to play at left back. He's not going to get forward. So you don't need to worry about Declan Rice having Bellingham next to him. Great to see Kante again, says Philip. Very exciting. Very surprising to see Kante. I mean, it is nice because he's such a... I think everybody likes him. But I didn't expect him to be playing for France in a tournament. The France shirt gives me baseball vibes, says Alec. Yes, you're very right about that. But look, we've kicked off here, obviously. We are 2 minutes in. The French are arguably the favourites for this tournament. Great to see another evening of good weather and packed out stadia in Dusseldorf here. France will have a lot of the ball. There's no doubt about that. But Austria don't have superstars. They are a team which is basically littered with players that are probably all around the same sort of ability. Their best, most high-profile player is probably Lehmer, who obviously plays for Bayern Munich. Sabitzer, we all know. Baumgartner, you'll know from Leipzig as well. But many people in the know, including me, have said that Switzerland, Austria, Czech Republic, I'd be stunned if one of them don't hit the quarterfinals, which means they're all going out now. But it'd be interesting to see. Would you take Pep Guardiola over Southgate if it meant benching Bellingham? Thank you for getting me through tough times, says Oliver. I don't like those hypotheticals, Oliver, because Pep Guardiola wouldn't bench Bellingham, but obviously I'd love to see a better manager than Southgate. Premier League fixtures out tomorrow, says Charlie. Yeah, I always like that. Some people don't like it at all. I'm more excited about the fixtures than I am about a new kit because those fixtures don't change. They don't. Your first 3 games are your first 3 games. So tomorrow at 9:05, you're going to know who you're playing. And for Manchester United, you know, I want a home game and I want it against the bottom half team. And I think Man City and Arsenal and Liverpool and Chelsea and everybody else wants that. What you don't want to do is be away like Villa were last season at St James's Park. And they still got top 4, by the way. They came 3rd. But so, you know, but yeah. Has Alaba retired? He's injured. A lot of people saying, where's Alaba? He's been injured for Real Madrid. Maybe we've got some Madristas in the chat, but a lot of people are saying, where is David Alaba? My understanding is that he's been injured for quite a while, but this is a good run. And he's given a free kick there. For a foul on Hernandez. Good run. And definitely a foul by Austria. Reasonable position. Don't really know. I mean, they've got plenty of people who can take a free kick in that side. Danzo with the free kick, who I believe plays for Lens. I might have got that wrong. Danzo. I'd say well over 75% of this Austrian team play in the Bundesliga. Not a great free kick. Well, they crossed it. He didn't shoot. All love, agree to disagree, says Goldio. Rank salsa, sour cream, and guacamole. Ooh, guacamole. It's funny, actually, because after the England game last night, I had a couple of beers with you while I was watching it. As soon as they'd done my match reaction, went in the kitchen, and we'd had a couple of people round, and there was no key swapping, don't worry about that. But there was more beers consumed, and there was a lot of tortilla crisps and dips, and I straight away went for the guac first, then I went for the sour cream when I'd ate all the guac, and then I went for the salsa. So I think that answers your question, Goldio. I would start guacamole, bench sour cream, and get rid of salsa. It was that, you know, them 4 dips you can buy from your local supermarket. Ophead, thank you very much for your super chat. And Kenneth says, you see, Mark, it's efficiency versus not being able to hit a barn door with a shotgun. That's why Belgium and Spain are vulnerable. That's from Kenneth. Thank you very much for the super chats that have come in. Appreciate that. Ralph Rangnick looking cool. Massively disrespected, Ralph Rangnick, by the media, actually. I was listening to, I think it was Alex Crook on Talk Sport today saying that Man United fans disrespected him. Bollocks. It was the media. Man United fans didn't disrespect Ralph Rangnick. It was the media. I was listening to it going, what a load of crap. Why are Man United fans getting the blame for that? Man United fans actually respected Rangnick and couldn't stand the players that season. That was the season when the fans turned on the players for all the leaks. And then Ralph Rangnick was talking about open heart surgery, and the fans actually completely and utterly agreed with him. It was the media who called him Wreck-It Ralph and took the piss out of him. Apparently, it's United fans who came up with that name. Absolute nonsense. It was the media. As a France supporter, we're not going into this expecting a blowout. Austria are very good, and we watched Danzo in League One. Trust me, he's incredible, says my guy, Stephen. Well, look, again, I think Austria have started off quite well. They've had some good results, but they wouldn't be expected to... Oh, he's going to get a yellow card there. Although, good play on. They've got carved open, and it's Mbappe, and it's side netting, and it's a corner, but it could have been 1-0 there. Just look at how quick they break here. The left-back, Hernandez, is such an important player for the French. I think he got injured, didn't he, before the World Cup? But Mbappe could have cut that back to Rabiot, but he only had one thing on his mind. I'd be surprised if they don't go back and book Posh there, but I don't think he did. Cross comes in. It's a good cross. Keeper gets hold of that. Pence in goal for Austria. Posh, I don't think has been booked. Plays for Bologna. Danzo's got his pink boots on. Lucas says, what's your opinion on Romania? Fantastic. I don't know anything about Romania. Dragoson's about it. I don't know anything about Romania. I used to years ago. Popescu, Domestos. Popescu, Hagi, Petrescu. They had a guy with a bit of a perm up front. Was it Radicescu or something? He was all right. I think he played for Milan. But I don't know anything about them. Romania. But France just ooze quality throughout the whole team, and they've got, you know, they've got probably. Just look at their bench: Camavinga, Chouamini, Giroud, Muani, Kanate. You know, just so many good players. You know, and I must admit, when the squad came out and I saw that Todibo wasn't in it, Elise obviously doesn't get in it, but you sort of see why. Well, you do see why. France is the best team in the world. Well, I think this is a good comment from Disco Dancer, because let's not forget, it was Messi's World Cup, but I never forget Mawani. Was it Mawani? I think it was Mawani. It was Mawani or Thuram. It was Mawani running through one-on-one with basically the last kick of the game, and Martinez made that incredible save. I mean, that's the World Cup. And that was the real quiz. That was the World Cup. So, yes, Argentina won the World Cup, and we got the iconic Messi pictures, but let's be honest, if Mawani scores that chance, and he should have done, France win the World Cup again. Martinez had such a big part to play. I mean, didn't they win a penalty shootout against the Netherlands as well? Like, Martinez was arguably the player of that tournament for Argentina. But when does a goalkeeper ever get that? Tell you what, already, players I don't get to see a lot of really impressing me. I do like that Danzo at centre-back for Austria. And I quite like the... That's a good cross to the back post. Well done. Good defending by Hernandez. I quite like Mweni as well. I think he's done quite well at left-back for them. Plays for Mainz. That's not me saying go and buy him for Man United, by the way. I was talking about this on the United stand. I mean, apparently Crystal Palace have added 15 million to Guehi's transfer fee because he had a good game yesterday. Explain this to me, or do you agree with it? Why is it that if you play well in an international tournament, your price goes up by 20 million? I mean, it happened with Harry Maguire and Leicester. And look, logically, I'll say what I said on the United stand. Are you happy paying another £20 million for a player because they play well in the Euros or the World Cup? I think it's illogical. International football is not as good as domestic football. Good play by France. Oh, what a... I tell you what, Hernandez is cooking down that left-hand side for France. Best player on the pitch so far. That he is... I mean, look, I was very impressed with DeMarco for Italy. What a player. Hernandez. I think Gusto should have deserved to get called up, but not complaining, as we will have him for pre-season, says Blues enthusiast. And if someone, Howder says, if someone says something you might not agree with, can you start with, pardon my French, but I do agree with you, etc. France plays tonight. Lee Dixon is awful to listen to. I think it's amazing that Lee Dixon has still got a job. You know, I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying I never see Lee Dixon because I don't listen to commentary, and I never see him on the telly. Have you noticed Danny Murphy gets put on the shit games? I don't think Danny Murphy's... I think it's Lee Dixon then. I don't think Danny Murphy and Lee Dixon will both be on. I can see how you'd get Danny Murphy and Lee Dixon mixed up. They are pretty much sort of the same sort of thing. Have a shot, Austria! Little dink. No, Kunde's there. Happy to have the ball, though, aren't they? French. I mean, the Austrians. I mean, you know, I was saying before the game that Austria's strong part is their midfield. When you think about it, you've got... Hold on a minute. Oh, he's giving a foul. You've got Seewald of Leipzig holding the midfield. Then you've got Lehmer, Baumgartner and Sabitzer. So you've got two Leipzig midfielders, a Dortmund midfielder and a Bayern Munich midfielder. So, you know, it is their best part of the pitch. Do you think Portugal will get to the semis, says Zidane? I would expect them to hit the semis, but what if they get England or France or Germany in the quarterfinals? I mean, you're only as good as the draw, aren't you? I think if the second round of the group games go the same way as the first round of the group games, I think by the time we hit the third group games, you'll see some very tactical planning in that final third game. Oh, yellow card straight away for Vuba. I think Dembele played for that. I mean, he's rolling around and then he looks back, sees the yellow card, and he's all right. No, yellow card for me, definitely. Studs up. Looks like Kante is the only DM in this squad, says Rubate. Chouamini. Camavinga can do that role as well. Gift the membership for every England goal. It'll be cheap, says Oddy. Owen says, who do you think is going to win the Copa America? I mean, it's easy, isn't it? I'm not saying they will win, but as a prediction, I would say it will be the Argentinians, yeah. I don't think Brazil will win it. I really don't. I might be wrong, but I don't think I'll get to see much of the Copa America. I think I'll live it on highlights, really. If it's a good tournament, I might watch some of the latter stages. Cross comes in, well cleared away by Meccano. Please do subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We're only 100 away from 172,000 subscribers. Get involved with That's Football. We're doing every single game as a watch-along. So get involved. Loving the tournament so far. It's got that real tournament vibe that I think we missed from the COVID Euros and also the Christmas World Cup. The weather in Germany has been fantastic. The crowds have been fantastic. And the football has been fantastic. I think somebody was saying to me today, actually, in the first weekend, 3 records were broken. The highest goals in an opening Euros game ever. The youngest scorer in the Euros ever, which was Yamal. And then I think, what was the other one? There was another record that was broken in the first 3 games. And this could be France's first goal because they've got a 4v3. It's with Griezmann. He's got Dembele on the overlap. He doesn't use him. And he shoots. Fastest goal. Yeah, fastest goal with Albania, Daniel. That was it. Well done. Well done, Daniel. Yeah, it's got proper tournament vibes, though, this. This is what, I remember when I was, younger. Euro 96, Portugal 04, Germany World Cup in 06. It's got a real tournament vibe. And I think a lot of that comes down to the fact that the last one was obviously hit by COVID, but also I understand why they did it, but I didn't like it. Games being played in different countries. I'm glad they got rid of that. I like it when it's just in, one place. Goldio says that Danny Murphy is a pundit for BBC on shit games. Also, Martinez much more influential in the World Cup. Messi praised, yet he was slightly above average in the World Cup, says Goldio. 90s toys, Meccano or Micro Machines, says Ben. I loved Micro Machines. I didn't really have any Meccano. I don't know why I liked Micro Machines, because they were just little cars, but I really liked them. Here's Mbappe up on the right-hand side. Skips past his man, but good defending by Austria. I do feel with Austria that it's all about, they sort of lack genuine pace in the team, don't they? They don't have like a real flair player. What do you think about Lukaku's performance for Belgium, says Joel? I was more listening to the watch along and doing things, to be honest. So I can't say I can give a fair performance on Lukaku because I didn't watch all of the game. But obviously, he'd be a bit disappointed. There's an injury here to Grilch for Austria. Important player for them. It looks like he's done his calf. He was a player that was linked to us a few years ago. It would be a blow for Austria. You can't afford to lose players like that. Keep up the good work, my man, says Yannick. Well, the physio put his thumb up. I don't know whether that means we're doing a sub or he's going to be okay. Looks like he's all right. Just Keevan says, what hair products do you use, Mark? Look, some people ask me about this. I'm not ashamed to show it. It's not the easiest to get hold of, but I've used it for years. L'Oreal Men Expert Invisi-Control. Neat look clear gel. Stronghold, no residue. They should sponsor me, really, because there won't be many people using that. I find it does the job. Mark, having watched England's first game in the Euros, why the hell has he lasted this long? Oh, SBU, God knows. God knows. But good first 20 minutes for Austria. I mean, there are some of their parts. As I said, I think if Austria just had, one real, Doku or Dembele or Saka or, Anthony Gordon, just somebody with a little bit of pace up front or in the front three. They just haven't really got any of that. Stacked with midfielders, but yeah, you don't style your hair with wash and go, mate. That's shampoo. Corner to Austria. Sabitzer puts it in. Magnon comes for it and collects it well. Nice to see him in goal for France, actually. We haven't mentioned that. Obviously, for years, it was Lloris, but I always thought Lloris was a little bit overrated, if I'm being honest, but Magnon's one of those modern sweeper keepers. And lovely play again. Look at this from the back. If this ends up being a goal, it'll be one of the goals of the tournament. Unfortunately for Hernandez, he falls over. But it was lovely play from Hernandez to Mbappe. Watch out for Uruguay, who are managed by Bielsa and beat Argentina and Brazil in the qualifiers, says DS Stacks. Oh, can you imagine if Uruguay won the Copa America with Bielsa? Hipsters would absolutely come in their pants, I think. Good play by Baumgartner. Into the box. Oh, again, he slipped a little bit like Hernandez there, but it was lovely play. Austria just have to be a little bit careful because of the press, that they don't get caught out on the break. Michael Carrick, Ji-Sung Park to have a pint with, says Daniel. Honestly, I played in a game, wasn't charity actually, it was a brand. I played in a game at Old Trafford where Ji-Sung Park and Wes Brown were on the opposition team to me. I don't think Ji-Sung Park speaks English. So if you're going for a pint and you want conversation, unless you can speak Korean, I think Carrick might be a better bet. What's your prediction for the result of this game, says Harem? I mean, mate, I'm not going to predict that Austria are going to get a result. France, one of the hot favourites. But I think that Austria have the potential to get out of this group. It's a tough group to get out of, though. Dutch, Polish, and obviously France. Some cracking games coming up. France-Netherlands is the second game. There's some fantastic. Spain-Italy's the second game in that group. France-Netherlands the second game in this group. I think there's some cracking games coming up in the second phase. I mean, the tournament's been brilliant already, in my opinion, but some of the second games in this group are brilliant. I mean, I think Germany-Hungary on Wednesday at 5 o'clock will be interesting. Scotland-Switzerland, that could be the Scottish going home. You've got Croatia-Albania at 2 o'clock on Wednesday. Croatia need to get a result there. Spain-Italy on Thursday night. Obviously, England-Denmark at 5 o'clock. Friday is Netherlands-France at 8 o'clock. Poland-Austria. Saturday, Turkey-Portugal at 5. Some really good games coming up in the second phase. Have a stretch, Mark, says Brian. I just went and looked at my hair gel, didn't I? Or Rabiot with a bit of a mistake, but good play by Saliba. And throw into the French. Ozan says, Turkey are a dark horse. I hope they are, mates, because we've heard that before. But regardless, I'm looking forward to watching Turkey-Georgia tomorrow because I want to see what this Guller's all about. I hear the name all the time, barely seen him play. Do you actually think he's good in the chat, or do you think he's just overrated? Let us know. Tomorrow he'll be playing, I presume he'll be starting for Turkey. Hernandez down at top of the field, and Mbappe tracked back and went into left-back position. That's Mbappe for you, says Rub. Well, there's a theory about Mbappe, isn't he? That he's not really had an amazing season for PSG. He's not always been picked and he might be rusty. My theory is that might make him sharper. He's got his Real Madrid move. He hasn't played as much football. Absolute baller, says Tej. Very good, says Thomas. Overrated, says Alex. We're talking about Goulet. Oh, Austria have done well here. It's got to give the free kick. No, ref, come on. You'd give it to France. I thought that was a foul. Baumgartner, good player, but good tackle by Kante. That's not a foul. That's not a foul. Ref seems to be a bit biased towards the French at the moment. What we got here? What we got? Yes. Yeah, I quite like. Somebody just said about Mwini. What do you think about the left back for Austria? Left wing back, really. He's getting up and down a lot. I think it's been the tournament of the left back, and I don't know whether that's just me focusing in on left backs because we've had a really bad season in the Premier League for left backs. DeMarco for Italy was brilliant. I've liked the look of Mwini for Austria. Obviously, Hernandez as well. France on the attack. Galer is mid, says Nipesh. What do you think about the earlier handball, says Alex? I thought it was a handball. Off topic, but what's the thing you like most about Seb? He seems like a really decent kid and seems he's been brought up right. Kudos to you, Mark, says Daniel. I don't actually, Daniel, have I don't know whether anybody else does that, but with parenting, I don't think I don't do that with my kids in the sense that I go, I like that bit, I like that bit. They are what they are, aren't they? And they've got to forge their own path. But he loved his England kit yesterday and was desperate to stay up till 10 o'clock to watch them, but not on a school night. Not at that age. The referee didn't give a free kick to France there. So we've had half an hour. And what are your thoughts so far? I think probably what I hoped would happen. you'd expect France at some point to break Austria down, but Austria have been well organised and not boring with it. He's had a good game, Baumgartner. And then he gives the ball away. How old is Baumgartner? I've known the name for ages. I feel like he must be about 27. 24. Surprised he's not been linked with a Premier League move. This is where I see he is. Let's have a look. Well, he only moved from Hoffenheim last year, Mark. Yes. That answers that. Score predictions for all these scenarios. England, Germany, England, France, England, Portugal, says Goldio. Goldio, you do ask some weird questions. I mean, I think all three games would be very hard to predict. I think England should have beaten France in the World Cup, and we bottled it. I think Portugal we haven't really seen yet. Here's Baumgartner. Nice little ball into the box, and it doesn't go for a corner. And Germany, I want to see Germany again. I mean, my only concern about Austria 25 in the world, Paddy. My only concern with Germany is how bad was Scotland. Like Germany-Hungary, I think will be a much better game because although Hungary lost to Switzerland, they're a decent international side. So I think that if Germany can do what they did to Scotland against Hungary, then they're one to watch. France on the attack here. Good ball. Here's Dembele. I like Dembele. I don't know why don't people take. Oh look, he does. I like Dembele, but he does like a tumble. He's booked. I don't like this ref. Do not like this ref at all. He's booked him for that. And Weenie's been booked there. It's a good free kick for Griezmann. A little perm. Yeah, no, I've not been impressed with the referee, and I don't want to be, you know, obviously I thought the English refs were shite, but nice little ball here. Austria with a break. They don't have loads of pace. Baumgartner gets it out wide. Interesting ball to the back post. Little nod. Terrible header. What's he doing there? That needed to go to Baumgartner, Lamer. What are you doing, man? Johnny likes the French kit. I think this Austrian team just misses a genuine pacey player in the final third. They are very, very well drilled and organised. But the ball's got to do the movement for them. Good game, though. I mean, I don't want to see a 0-0. We've not had a 0-0 in the whole tournament yet, and I don't want to see one. But it's been, in a footballing way, it's been a good game. Quite an open game, to be fair. It's not like it's slow. Both defences have done well. With lots and lots of... oh, let me go! Gotta go! Go! Oh, what a save by Manion. Baumgartner, I thought he'd scored. What's going on? Why is he not giving it a corner? Good play. Ball goes out wide. Cross comes in. Sabitzer nods it down. Why are we not getting a corner? How's he given a goal kick for that? How is he given a goal kick for that? I mean, are you having a laugh? That is criminal. Absolutely criminal. This referee has taken the bloody title off Michael Oliver for being the biggest, crappiest ref in the bloody history of football. How on earth is he given a goal kick for that? Wasn't offside either. Lovely bit of play by Austria, though. Cross comes in. Sabitzer plays in Baumgartner. He should score. Maignan makes a bloody good save. Referee not giving a goal kick is what we're moaning about. But let's just say the play by Austria was fantastic. It should be 1-0 to Austria. But Maignan makes a bloody good save. This ref's been dodgy, I'm telling you. Given a lot to France. That's not France's fault, but he has given a lot to France. And that's not even a mistake. You know, I've seen corners not get given before, but that can't not be a corner. The ball, if you're not watching, you'd be as outraged as we are. Like, it clearly gets blocked. What does he think happened? I mean, there's nobody else it can go off. Austrian player shoots, ball deflects, only player in the way is the bloody French goalkeeper. What does he think happens? The shot he shoots against himself. Oh, mistake here. Dembele's in the box. Here's Mbappe. He's gone over to the right-hand side. Does well. Oh, no. Own goal off Uber. You can't believe it. You can't believe it. Football, eh? It's just not fair. It's just not fair, is it? It's just not fair. And France go up the other end and score. Literally, France go up the other end on the attack and score, and Austria have had a bloody corner that was blatant, not given to them. The ref's celebrating. He's got his shirt round his head. Is it a good goal though? Someone said it's a good goal. How's that a good goal, mate? The cross comes in and it hits the Austrian's head. Oh, what are your thoughts about Romania's performance against Ukraine? Great result, George. Great result. Irish lad says, do you put red wine on your chips? I can safely say the only red wine that's been on my chips is red wine vinegar, and I don't do that very often. Danzo looks a good option at centre-back, says King Nando. That's how football works, isn't it? That's why people get frustrated when they see dodgy decisions, because it has this horrible tendency to kick you in the arse. And an own goal for Austria is very, very, very unlucky. But why didn't Austria get a corner? Stunning. Grilch is down again. He's been in the wars a little bit. What are your thoughts, everybody? I mean, 44% possession for Austria is actually very, very good. Why is he not booking Kante though? Because he's booked two Austrians for very similar tackles. It's a funny old game. Goes out for a goal kick. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We're very close to... in fact, we're only 15 subscribers away from 172,000. So please subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Get involved. We're loving the Euros. A bit of injustice, to be honest, for Austria. They don't deserve to be 1-0 down here. They've won a corner. Should have been 1-0 up. That was on Baumgartner for missing. But not getting the penalty was a joke. And then France go up on an attack and score a... Score from an OG. Irish lad likes the referee. I watched Will and the other co-host and they did an amazing job. They were brilliant, David. Loved it. He knows his stuff. Zach. Danzu with the header. A few minutes to go to half time. Who am I says the ref's been good. I suppose if you support France, he has. Why do you think the ref is so biased, says Seb? I don't know. Crap defending marks, says Kenneth. Could just be big team bias, you know. Reputations of the French players are bigger than the Austrians. I don't know. How is the ref biased, bro? I can't interact with idiots. If you're not watching the game, then I'm not here to provide you with a run-by-run breakdown of things that happened 5 minutes ago. I mean, it's a corner, mate. What's your justification? Are you genuinely telling me that's not a corner for Austria? I wasn't really sure about those two centre-backs, but then they score an own goal just as they were settling into the game, says Say. Of course, it changes the game now as well. With France 1-0 up, Austria, you know, have to change their plan a little bit to try and get back into the game. And obviously France, therefore, can be a little bit more measured in their counter. Good play by Rabiot. Look at the pace of Rabiot. I don't know why Man United fans don't want Rabiot, by the way. The recovery pace for Rabiot there was fantastic. I don't know why. I'd take Rabiot at Man United. I know he's... I would take Rabiot at Man United. Very, very... strong player, technically good as well. I suppose there's that temperamental issue, isn't there? But wages too high. 170 grand a week, mate, on a free transfer. Is that too high? He's that's less than Maguire. 29. Age might be a factor, but JJ says people don't want Rabiot because he's low rated on FIFA. Yeah, maybe. Name a player that's actually not that good in real life, but FIFA, they're good on FIFA, so people think they're good. There's one that really does spring to mind. I'm just going to see if anybody gets it. It's his mother that's the problem, says Kenneth. Rashford is very, very good in this year's EA FC. I think Alphonso Davies is a good FIFA player that in real life isn't the same. Still a good player, but... Oh, what a ball over the top! Keeper's in trouble! Mbappe, no. Keeper does well. Ferland Mendy. Rub says, things like this, for example, corners, they can be semi-automated and the technology is there to always get the right decision. Blue Crow says, we're in London, aren't we? Kante giving Matic 2021 vibes. He's a cement bag, says Goldio. Look, I wouldn't say Kante's been bad, but I don't understand why he's playing for France in 2024? I really don't. Somebody can explain that one to me. Obviously, he's out in Saudi Arabia now, but that cross should have gone in quicker than that, mate. And that's half-time. 1-0 at half-time. Very surprised the Austrians aren't surrounding the referee here. Absolutely stunned he didn't give that corner, but there's nothing you can do in relation to the French goal. It's legit. It's an own goal from Mbappe's cross. But it is half-time here, and it's 1-0 to France, who, look, I think France have played well. I just think Austria are a good team. I don't think, you know, if France were England, I wouldn't be going moaning, and maybe the French are, but I wouldn't be moaning. I think France have done okay, but Austria are a good side. I mean, I had Austria down as being one of the dark horses of the tournament, potentially. I think a lot of people did as well. I think it's a tough opening game for Austria, because I think if their first game had been Poland and they beat them, you know, it's a great start. Unfortunately, they're playing arguably the favourites for the tournament, and I think they've done very, very well. But they're a very good team. Gnabry at Bayern is overrated, says Owen. Is Gnabry even in the German squad? I don't think he is. Nigel says, my issue with Rabiot is his mum and a high potential problem in the dressing room, but I might be wrong. Maybe he's matured at 29. Thank you very much for your super chats this evening, by the way. You can do that through the $sign. Absolute legends. 16,000 of you are watching, enjoying the Euros. Remember, we're doing every game as a watch-along. There's no 2 o'clock game tomorrow, though. We'll be on the United Stand at 2 tomorrow, but no 2 o'clock game tomorrow. 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock tomorrow night. It's Portugal, first game, Czech Republic. I think Portugal, Czech Republic tomorrow night will be very similar to this. Portugal will be the team everyone wants to watch because they've got all the good players like France. But Czech Republic, like Austria, I expect to be well organised and a team without stars who are, you know, play for each other. And I think that's what we've seen with Austria. 5 o'clock game tomorrow. I will be watching it. It's Güler for Turkey against Kvaratskhelia for Georgia. I'm interested to see what this Güler is all about. Really, really am. Really, really am. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Lee Berman got Czech Republic in the sweepstake at work. I've got Switzerland, Lee, and if they beat Scotland on Wednesday, which I think they will, that's 6 points and we're through to the knockout stage. We'll start to look at that over the next few days, actually. It's impossible at the moment to sort of map out how the group stage will go. But I will show you at the moment how it could look with regards to where you finish in your group and who you play. So if you go to the round of 16 and you look at let me just get these groups up and I can read out some scenarios. It is quite difficult at the moment to do it, but Group A is Germany. So if Germany top their group, they will play runners-up of Group B. So if Germany win their group, they're going to play probably Spain or Italy. They don't play a third place team. So this is what I mean about predicting who's going to win the tournament, because Germany win their group, they're probably going to play Italy or Spain. Sorry, I've completely got that wrong. I'm an idiot. Runners-up of Group A will play runners-up of Group B. So Switzerland are probably, that's what I meant. Switzerland are probably going to be runners-up and they'll play Spain or Italy. Winners of Group A will play runners-up of Group C, which could be England if we're runners-up. So Germany could play England if we are runners-up in our group, which I don't think we will. So Germany probably will get Denmark or Serbia or Slovenia, if we're being completely honest on that one. Winners of Group B get a third place team, so we don't know who that's going to be at the moment. Runners-up of Group D play runners-up of Group E. So runners-up of Group D, which is this one, play runners-up of Group E. So who's going to be the runners-up in this group? Could be Netherlands, could be Austria. You play potentially Belgium, Romania, maybe Ukraine. or Slovakia. So that's interesting. A lot of people saying, what about England? What about England? I will tell you, well, England's group is, we were just talking about it there, weren't we? England's group is Group B. So England as runners-up of Group, as winners of Group B. Have we not spoken about England or winning? Winners of Group B, third place team, so it's hard to know. Hard to know. But that's, I mean, look, I could spend 15 minutes talking to you about all this shit. It's really not much point until we get through to... It's the third place thing, isn't it, that I find confusing, because if you take a random Germany, if you take winner of Group B, England will play third in Group A, D, E, or F. Well, who the fuck's that going to be? We don't know how that works. I don't know how that works. Third place in Group A, D, E, or F. What? How does that work? I don't understand the third place thing. I don't understand. I understand it's 4 of the top 6 third place teams, but I don't understand how you get A, D, or F. Anna, welcome to the Members Club. You're an absolute legend. Thanks for getting your badge in. Matt Ross says, what's your favourite match snack? You have to try the 5-layer. Take a lasagna dish and layer salsa, sour cream, guacamole, black bean, cheese with Doritos. Ooh, that looks... Matt Ross, that sounds nice. Anthony is better than Garnacho in 24. In what world, says Oddie. Rabio says, his mum cuts his hair and his deals, says Guan. I would join your cult if you started one, says Michael Vargos. Thank you very much for that one. There we go. Cubed said, who was the FIFA player that sprang to your mind that's good on FIFA but isn't in real life? Renato Sanchez. I didn't say it had to be from this one. Renato Sanchez was just a player that for about 3 or 4 years you could buy him on FIFA and he was always bloody good, but in real life it just never happened. So yeah, that was who I was thinking about. Yeah. Rabiot has been highlighted as having a good game. I think he's played well. In fact, I'm going to tweet it just for the laugh. Yeah, mum apart. What's the problem with Rabiot? Mark, a bit early, but what is your score prediction for England-Denmark? I love the podcast. Thanks for all the great content, says Will. And Per says, do you remember when England was linked with Rabiot in Erik ten Hag's first season against Brentford away? We didn't want him then, but football changes and maybe now he is a good fit for United, says Per. Would you take De Ligt at Man United, says Christopher Campbell? What? I just don't know. They've just shown it on ITV there. Like... how it doesn't go for a corner is just absolutely incredible to me. Absolutely incredible. Just answering the questions, I think England will beat Denmark. I mean, I like Rasmus and I like Denmark, but watching them against Slovenia, I think England will probably dominate their midfield. So yeah, I think that's my prediction for that. Would I take De Ligt at Man United? It's not that I wouldn't take De Ligt at Manchester United. I'd just rather get Todibo and Branthwaite. I think they are the right players for Manchester United to move for, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's my preference there. Yeah. I'm just going to pause that for you. You can try it out with your camera phone. Scan that QR code. Takes you to the podcast. Brand new out today. Every Monday. Goldbridge Saves Football. Me and Will. We had a right going on De Zerbi, actually, which is, it's not just about the Euros. A lot of it was about a debrief of England and the Euros so far. I said, it's coming home, but let's send Southgate home first. Imagine if you could do that. Free hit. Sack Southgate and send another manager over. Would you do it? I probably would. I still think we can win it with Southgate, obviously, but if I could use a wild card and replace Southgate with... probably every here's a scenario for you. Probably going to get clipped up, but I think it's true. If somebody said to me, you can sack Southgate now. No, sack's harsh. You can swap Southgate today. You've got 10 minutes to decide. You can swap Southgate today with any manager from 11th down in the Premier League from last season. Would you do it? And I look at that league table, what's from 11th down, and I'd say it's more a question of which one I wouldn't take. Look, Chris Wheeler might be too far at Sheffield United, if I'm being completely honest. But Company, obviously he's at Bayern Munich, but he might fancy a job for a month. Luton manager, Edwards, yes. Deitch, yes. Frank, yes. Silva, yes. Yeah, I would. I would. I think Jackie says in a heartbeat, apart from Chris Wheeler, every manager that finished in the bottom half of the Premier League last season, if you gave me 10 minutes to sack Southgate and replace him with one of them, instantly, get your bag packed, you're going to Germany, I'd do it. I think they're all better. I still think Southgate can win the Euros, but that's what we're trying to do it with. It's like having a hand tied behind your back. How do you feel about Tony Kroos retiring, says Christopher. Look, he's 34. He's got another 2 years in him. Modric is 30-something and says he's going to play in the next World Cup. Maybe Tony Kroos is one of those people who just decides he wants to, go out on top. Some people do it. I personally think that he should play for another year. I think he can easily play for another year. But it's up to him. It's his choice. Jurgen Klopp leaving Liverpool stunned me. But you've got your reasons. Just because you and I wouldn't do it. It's like Ben Foster when he went back to Wrexham. And then at the start of the season, he just felt that he couldn't carry on doing it. And I was like, I'd carry on. But everybody makes their own decision. Would you take Rooney over Southgate, says Merker? I mean, look, yes, I would, but that's just sentiment. Brian Gallagher says, to absolutely clarify, the ref gave offside on Baumgartner. It wasn't a goal kick or a corner. Couldn't see the free kick before the camera cut back to the game. And he wasn't offside, was he, Brian? Was he? Richard Bowyer says, Mark, Steve, Husson. Oh, I know you're on about. Called you over the top about Ineos. Sending my regards. I'm glad he's watching. I haven't mentioned that name in, God, I don't know how many years. But Baby Reindeer FC, it's good they're watching. Got no interest. Fair play. He's making content. Crack on doing you, mate. I ain't got any interest at all. Breaking, we pulled out of the Branthwaite deal, says Ahmed. Is that from you, Ahmed? Or is that actually from... I'm not disrespecting Ahmed Sports News, but is that you saying we've pulled out the Branthwaite deal? Or is that absolutely something else? It's from Fabrizio. Oh, let's have a quick look. No, Fabrizio says, Manchester United's interest in Branthwaite remains concrete. The club know that the player is keen on the move. Personal terms are not a problem. However, Everton want at least 65 to 70 million and United do not want to play this. If the price does not come down, United will consider other targets. So that's not over then, is it? We were talking about that already tonight. Man United have stopped concrete negotiations with Everton when they heard that Everton only wants at least 65 or 70. Manchester United don't want to pay United tax anymore when signing players. So, bit contradictory really, isn't it? Well, he uses concrete a lot. Fabrizio, what is it? Was he a builder in another life? So, on the one hand, it says Man United's interest in Branthwaite is concrete, but then in another statement, it says we've stopped concrete negotiations. So we've got concrete interest, but we've stopped concrete negotiations. Yeah, I don't think that's... I don't think we're there yet with that. You know what I think that is? Power play. I think I did a video about it last night. I think that's just about, you know, negotiation tactics. Which is what United should do. 100%. Can the Austrians get back into this game? France about to kick off the second half here. They've played well. I think both teams have played well. I think the strong point has been the defence. I think France's defence has been very good, apart from that one chance for Baumgartner. And the Austrian defence has played very well, apart from that own goal. So I think, for me, I'd shout out the organisation of both of these teams. But I think it's been a good game. I think it's had a real intensity. It's had a real speed to it. It's not been a game of many chances, but I think that's down to the fact that both teams have played well defensively. Are you going to kick the bloody ball, Mbappe? Come on. Here we go. Thanks for your super chats tonight, by the way. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We're currently 5 subscribers away from 172,000. Ball back with Maignan does well under pressure. France playing out from the back. That's how you do it. Little flick. It's gone for a throw-in, actually. Austria. Griezmann's gone down, clutching his face. Didn't really see anything there. Oh, nothing in that. He just fell into the advertising hordes. He likes the brand life. Visit Qatar. He went flying into the... He thought he was back in the World Cup. He smashes himself. He's hurt his head as well, actually. We shouldn't take the piss. Griezmann's banged his head. He thought he was back in the World Cup. He's flown into the Visit Qatar branding. But he has got a head bleed. I think France are going a little bit over the top here. I mean, it's a shoulder barge on the field that sends Griezmann into the advertising board. I mean, there's certainly not reckless play there. It's just a bit unlucky. Might need a stitch. Lost my live chat here at the moment, so just bear with me. Podcast, scan the QR code or go to Spotify. Goldbridge Saves Football. That's out for you today. Thanks, everybody. Still no live chat. It'll come back, don't worry. I'll tell you what, switch it on and switch it off again. Well, if what I expect France to do now is just probe and probe and probe for that second goal. But obviously, they have the opportunity to hit on the break as well. Oh, what's going on here? It just keeps doing it. It's the night for it, isn't it? One of my biggest frustrations in life is when you open up a browser and it just keeps doing the bloody slow load. Oh, he's got a headband on. Terry Butcher, or should I say Terry Butcher? He's doing it again. Here we go. It's fell off. Griezmann, it's fell off. Your bandages fell off. Kante, into the box. Mbappe, overload. Hernandez, good cross, good defending. Christopher says, did the Serbia fans fight with the police? That little out just picked it up his bandage and then threw it on the floor again. Who's going to pick that up for you then, you bloody overpaid hooray Henry? Pick it up and put it in the bin. Manners cost nothing. Litter bug. Could have shoved it down his shorts. Diva, says Ryan. Exactly. What message does that send out to, you know, kids? That you can just throw your rubbish on the floor. Griezmann has been bloody good, says Hull. Breaking. I've done that one from Ahmed. Thank you very much. Timer's off a bit, Marks. It's 49.43. It's 47. We're a little bit ahead, aren't we? What can I do? I'm on the wrong one. 50. 4. One more. 7. Yeah, perfect now. Robster says, why is Griezmann so much better for country compared to club? I think France have this thing that England have started to develop, actually, where the French love it. I remember when Pogba was at United, he used to love going and joining with the French squad. And I think they have this just real love playing for France. There's a real good community. I mean, where is Griezmann now? Is he back at Atletico Madrid? And that's never a good thing, is it? It's a bit like João Felix. Griezmann and João Felix, I'm not saying they're the similar player, but their careers are very similar. And I always think with Felix and Griezmann, who do they play for now? And when you think in that, they're obviously not fulfilling their talent. Especially in the case of João Felix. Griezmann should have come to Man United. I saw a very interesting piece on Mbappe today, actually, saying that, talking about politics and the upcoming snap election that's been called in France. And I think he's concerned about who might win the, be the next party in power. When politics hits football. Be interesting if they get in and then some of the players don't fancy playing for France. I'm not saying that will happen. I was just listening with interest. That's fantastic from Austria, though, isn't it? 47% possession against arguably the best team in the world. I know they're losing, but an own goal. I think Austria's problem is, well, they've only had 50 minutes. I think they'll play well against the Dutch, and I think they'll play well against Poland. But can they score goals? That's going to be the big thing. Oh, lovely ball, lovely ball. Keeper. Oh, he's. I thought he was gonna shoot there. Actually, it was a lovely ball. France had the break again, which obviously we've said that they can be quite patient about now. Not really seen a lot from. I don't know whether it's just me. I mean, I've noticed a lot of French players. Griezmann, not Thuram, that was what I was going to say. I haven't noticed. Griezmann, Mbappe, Dembele, Rabiot, Kante. I've noticed them a lot on the ball, but I haven't really noticed Thuram. Ref's definitely on the French side, says Zed Mark. Can you do a UK and US election watch-along, says Donny. What's happening in the US election? Does what's his name just win by default now? Because Trump's not in the election, is he? I mean, I'm not massively into politics, but surely Trump's not going for election when he's been found guilty. I don't know what's going on there. The thing I don't understand about American politics is why in a country of that magnitude and status, you have two candidates to be a president who are so old. What's happened to you? Why haven't you got any young politicians? Oh, look at the pace of Mbappe. 2-0. Oh, he's missed. I tell you what, I can't believe it. It's the perfect ball. He gets through one-on-one. It's a lovely ball by... I don't know who hits that pass. Is that Griezmann? I mean, Mbappe's away. No one's going to catch him. I can't believe he's missed. I can't believe he's missed. I mean, the goalkeeper's even given him the corner to curl it into. Who hit that pass? Was it Griezmann? Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That's politics. Rabiot pass, apparently. Rabiot, what a ball. No, look, Mbappe's human. Breaking news. Dembele's just got booked. Bloody hell. Maybe this ref is fair. He shouldn't have, I don't think he should have got booked. Oh, that's going for a corner. Apparently Trump is still going for presidency, even though he's been found guilty. Weird. He's winning in the polls as well, says Connor. Why can't you get some young bloody presidents? Oh, that was a good header. Another corner for Austria. Here it is again. So that's not a good cross. That's not a good cross. Way too much height on it. And Rabiot will let it go for a goal kick. I miss the old Kanye. I think you mean Kante, undesirable, unless you're talking about Kanye's music, which we're not a music channel. I think he means Kante. He says, I miss the old Kanye. I think he means Kante. So 57 minutes gone, still 1-0. Intriguing game. Could be, I mean, if Mbappe scores that chance, it's over. Could have been over. But missed. Keeps the game alive, which is good. Because I think that sort of levels it up for me. Mbappe definitely should have scored, but I thought that the OG was a little bit unlucky. Arnautovic, an option. It's got, well, I haven't seen Arnautovic play for a very long time. He used to be quite mobile and big, but so I'm sure they'll throw him on at some point. And that point's going to be now. Ranić and Goldbridge entwined in footballing intelligence. There we go. 3 substitutions for Austria. They're taking off the own goal Vobber. He's on a yellow card as well. He's going to Trauner's going to come on. We've also got Wimmer coming on. Gregoric has come off for Arnautovic. And Grilch is coming off for Wimmer. Who looks very young with his long hair. He's gone off again. He's been subbed off. He's only been on for 3 seconds. He's 23 years of age and plays for Wolfsburg. So, Arnautovic might, I don't know what he's like now, but he might give him a bit of mobility. No 0-0 again as well. It's amazing in Qatar we had so many 0-0s, didn't we? But Zach says, who scored for France? It was an OG. Go on. Plays Sabitzer. Does well. Keeps going. But good defence. It wasn't Sabitzer, right? So that was Wimmer. Cross comes in. Headed away. And cleared away. Look, I think Austria deserve a lot of credit because they've done really well. And look at that French team. It's full of talent. And let's not forget the bench that Deschamps can refer to as well. Giroud, Moani, Koeman, Camavinga, Upamecano, Tchouaméni. You do just feel at some point France might get the goal on the break. And they're on the break again here with Dembele. Look at the piece of Mbappe there. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Just a little bit ahead of him. That pace. God damn, that pace, says Mission. It's a nice ball outside by Wimmer to bump Gartner. Oh, it's a lovely ball into Sabitzer. Oh, hey, up! No. Not having it. I think this referee, you look at it and you go, maybe, but it didn't look like a penalty to me. I think it's one of those where they might give it, but I don't think it was a penalty for me. Let's have a look. Sabitzer. He sort of puts his foot in the way. I mean, to be honest, it could have been a pen. I just don't think it is for me. I think what Sabitzer's done is just get there in front of him and plant his foot. I don't think... honestly, I mean, it's not going to get given anyway. But I don't think it was a penalty. Mbappe has never scored in a Euro 17 shots, 0 goals, says Oddy. Here's Arnautovic. Doing well though, Austria, aren't they? In some ways, are France not doing in England, though? Like, it's quite similar to France-England in the second half, isn't it? Where, England was sort of looking for that second goal on the counter and letting Serbia have a lot of the ball. The difference is Austria are a better team than Serbia. I mean, ball possession is now 50-50, as you can see, which is incredible for Austria. Alvin says that's a penalty, and Helmy says it wasn't a penalty. I think it will finish 1-0 to. I think France will get the win, because I think that's what France do, a bit like England yesterday. I think France have got the know-how to get the win. I just hope it doesn't knock Austria's confidence because they've been good. I'm going to do a poll on this. Do you think it was a penalty? I really don't think it was. I think it can be given. I've played the game and I know exactly what Sabitzer did. He put his foot there and planted it, knowing that there would be some contact there, and I don't feel it was a penalty. But I've seen him given. I've seen him given. Steve says, I don't think this is France's strongest team. So why has he picked it then? Lovely play. Lovely play. Good recovery tackle by Koundé. Baumgartner took him on. That's what you that's where you see two players do well. That would be a penalty in La Liga, says Vez. Please do subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. I mean, Austria have had more corners. They've played nearly the same passes. They've got the same pass accuracy. Not a good corner again. Oh, well done, Sabitzer, but the break is still on. Kante. Look at that. That's good play. There we go. Kante doing his messy days. Good cross. Headed away. Rabiot wins the second ball. And Austria clear. Still plenty of time left in this game. England would not be playing as well as Austria if they had to play France because of Southgate, says Cormac. Didier de Southgate, says Nick P. I don't think Deschamps is a great coach. I just think he's functional. Oh, that should have been 2-0 to France. That would have been good timing. This could be 2-0. No, good block again. It's going a bit end to end now, isn't it? I'll tell you what, I've been very, 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 very impressed with Baumgartner. Very, very technical player. Here's Kante. Thought about the shot. This could be Thuram. Good save by the keeper. I'd say Thuram's not been in the game much, but that was a good shot. France just looking a bit dangerous here. Dembele. Maybe those subs for Austria have been a bit attacking, which has opened up more opportunities for France. How old is Kante now? I'm going to say 52. 33. Oh, I know. I know what happened with Kante. 33 isn't old. He got injury prone, didn't he? That's what happened to Kante. He got injury prone. It wasn't because he was particularly old. He just kept getting injured. And Chelsea probably sold him for about 900 million to Saudi Arabia. He's everywhere at the moment, though, Kante, isn't he? Well, he's been... I'll tell you what, Kante has actually been one of the stories of this first week of the tournament. It's lovely to see him back playing. Here we go, Baumgartner into the box. Bit of a battle going on with Koundé. Wins the tackle. Make sure you subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. Every game is a watch-along. You're very welcome on That's Football. Will we get a goal? Will we get a goal? I'd love to see Austria get a point. Just because I think they've put so much work into the game and they've played so well as a team and they haven't got the stars that France have got. But you do feel that the quality that France have got with the game opening up, we've already seen that Mbappe chance. Rodders wants to see Camavinga. What a player. What a player. But then again, Frimpong's not playing for the Dutch, is he? There you go. Give me some names who don't start for their international teams but are very good players. Camavinga. Frimpong. Courtois doesn't even get picked for Belgium. Grimaldo, yeah. Cole Palmer, yeah. Good ones. Savage says this tournament is flying fire. Austria giving a tough time to one of the best teams in the tournament. Mawani and Camavinga are coming on now. Look at the quality of their subs. Dani Olmo, Spain as well, doesn't start. De Ligt doesn't start as well. Tadic didn't start for Serbia. Jared Bowen. Oh, God. I tell you what. I've seen that clip so many times today where I go, Jared Bowen. Every time, I must have seen myself take a drink about 100 times. I must be hammered. That is so out of context. I don't dislike Jared Bowen. It was the substitution that I was frustrated by because he brought Jared Bowen on for Saka. He kept Foden on. He kept Kane on. And he didn't bring on Palmer, Gordon, or Watkins. And we were crying out for those subs. That's why I went Jared Bowen. I was like, what's he doing a like for like substitution when Foden or Kane need to come off? Mawani is crap apparently. He's a chance magnet though, isn't he? Griezmann's gone off. No, he's not. He's on. Who did he take off then? I didn't see who he took off. Mawani's on for Dembele. And I think he's took Rabiot off, hasn't he? Which is very interesting because I think Rabiot... Yeah, Rabiot's gone off. Then again, he was probably thinking about taking Kante off, wasn't he? But he's been everywhere in the second half. Who's the best underdog this tournament? Also shout out to Josh Wilkes. He's a City fan who recently got a mullet. We encouraged it. Matt Ross, thank you very much for your super chat there. Here we go. Good play. Terrible shot. It was France, by the way. Undesirable says Romania to win the Euros. Well, I think they have won the Euros today, haven't they? That result will definitely have sent a cat amongst the pigeons. Deschamps don't look very happy. Never does. Start bench sell, Darwin Nunez, Alvaro Morata, Lukaku. Belgium real unlucky not to get draw. I'll sell Lukaku, I'll bench Morata, and I'll start Darwin Nunez, Bart. Elise's not in the Euros, Lay. He's in the Olympic squad for France. Remember, the Olympics are coming up this summer as well. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Another cracking day in the Euros and another 3 watch-alongs on That's Football. Make sure you're getting involved. We've got the plan to do every single game in the Euros. Another 2 for you tomorrow. Weird day tomorrow. It's the only day of the week there's no 2 o'clock game, and I presume that's just because the it's the last group of the first round, isn't it? So there's no game tomorrow, but you could have just had a game from the Germany group, couldn't you, really? I don't know why they didn't do that. But there is 2 o'clock games back on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but not tomorrow. So it's 5 o'clock tomorrow. Turkey, Guler against Kvaratskhelia, Georgia. And then tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, it's Portugal. Portugal. Cristiano. Bruno. Leao. Another team absolutely stacked with talent. I mean, you look at the England squad, the Portugal squad, and the French squad. It's cheating. It's just unbelievable the quality of depth they've got. Oh God, that's last night. That is. I need some day off the beers. Too many. Well, I'd love Austria to get an equalizer, but I do think France will find a way. Not find a way. I think France will win this because they've defended so well. Cal says, I think France will win it all. Well, I think France will win it all because they know how to win it all. That's one thing. And also, they've got the know-how, which is the same thing. $100-inch TV. 100-inch TV, world number 1. 100 inches. If that's 4 inches, that's bloody massive. What club is going to rescue Kante from Saudi Arabia after this tournament, says the HPN? I don't think anybody will, because I think Kante playing in international football in Saudi Arabia is probably perfect for his body. But you put him in a European league and ask him to play 40, 50 games, I don't think he'd be able to do it anymore. Good play by the Austrian centre-back there. Zane says, did you watch the Inside episodes from the Sidemen? Yeah, it took me back to my days of when I used to watch Big Brother years ago on Channel 4. I enjoyed it. It was good. I'm too old to go on it myself, but then again, that's not... You shouldn't be discriminatory. Fair play to the beta squad for letting me play in the charity game. Been moaning about that for ages. I mean, there are some good players in. I mean, that's a good question. I don't agree with HPN. I don't think Kante is going to come back and play in a European league. I just don't think his body can deal with it anymore. We saw that at Chelsea, but I think there are players in Saudi Arabia that surely at some point they do think about coming back. Lema, this mainly on does well. Yeah, I think there are. What about Ruben Neves? He's not that old, is he? Bump Gardner here and the keeper just sliding into each other. I think Maignan, yeah, it's just it's a 50-50. And they're both fully committed. They've both got every right to go for that. And I think, unfortunately, Maignan very bravely has just caught a bit after. It's not a penalty. Knowing this referee, he's probably booked Baumgartner. He's going to book him. Oh, my God. How's he booking him for that? I mean, come on. I mean, that's just terrible. It's absolutely terrible. It's a legitimate attempt to win a ball, which he actually wins, and then momentum takes him into the goalkeeper, who's very brave. You can't book somebody for that. There's nothing reckless about it. It's a terrible decision. Like, yeah, he does catch Maignan in the face, but he's won the ball before it. It's like his ball to win. If he doesn't go in and try and win that, everybody in Austria is saying coward. Come on. That's terrible from the referee. Absolutely terrible. I tell you what, Michael Oliver, you're not the worst referee in the tournament, because this guy's been really bad tonight. And we're lucky that it hasn't had a major impact on the game, because he's had a really bad game. I mean, I don't think Dembele should have got booked. Definitely Baumgartner shouldn't have got booked. Not giving that bloody corner to Austria. What club is going to rescue? I've done that from about that. Awful referee, really. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right hand corner. Loving the community we're building during this Euros and beyond. That's Football. Fantastic channel. Absolutely love it. Get involved. Bottom right hand corner to subscribe. Looks like France are going to get over the line, but Austria have played very well as well. They've played their part. I think both teams have done well. And ultimately, if France win it, they're going to win it with an OG. I don't know. Tobias says, how can he get a yellow card when he's first to the ball? Yeah, and there's absolutely no, like, he's not gone to win the ball and left his stud in, has he? Oddie says, I can finally get the washing up done with no 2 PM game. Would you have Sabitzer back at United, says Daryl? I don't think Sabitzer fits what we want. I think Sabitzer works in a more attacking position. And when you've got Mount, Bruno, Mainu can do that. You know, we need more defensive-minded midfielders at Manchester United. Here's Griezmann into Thuram, cuts it back. And he's had a good game for Austria. The guy who plays for Leipzig, the holding midfielder, I forget what his bloody name is. Completely forgotten. Just done a really good shielding job in front of the back four. Reminds me of Prime Goldbridge, actually. Siwald. Yeah, he's had a good game. But here we go. Camavinga cuts it back straight at the keeper. Looks like the Madrid players brought their La Liga refs over to Germany, says Hessen. I do think this Austria team is just a really hard-working team, but they just could do with something in the final third that's quick. A Dembele, a Thuram, a Mawani, an Mbappe. Just one. Seven minutes to go. 1-0 to France. I just really hope whatever happens, Austria don't get downhearted and can perform against Poland and the Netherlands, because it's a tough group. It's a really tough group. Lehmer's had enough of this ref and he's going to get booked as well. I mean, You'd think Austria had come here and played like prime Wimbledon. You really would. How many players have they had booked now? It's just not been that sort of game. Alaba is injured, Aaron, yet. Who's this ref? I've got, you know, I don't normally do it. I've got to. Who's the ref? How do I find out who the ref is? Who is he? I want to know who he is. And where's he from? Because it hasn't been good enough. Yeah, not enough pace there. You see what I mean? On the break there, Austria, he's just not... They haven't got that out-and-out pace. He's a La Liga referee, apparently. Well, Mbappe's ended up heading the ball and the Austrian goalkeeper here. Not the Austrian goalkeeper. Ooh, that would hurt. He's headed his shoulder. That's a... Look at this in slow-mo. Heads the ball and then bang, straight into the back. Ooh, God. That's hurting my nose. Kante. Probably man of the match. Alex says, all the British media, they look down on Ralph, but look at him now with a very basic Austrian team going toe-to-toe with one of the best in the Europe. Well, Alex, I'm not having this. Like, apparently it was Man United fans who turned on Ralph Rangnick. It bloody wasn't. It was multiple Manchester United journalists who arrogantly, you know, ridiculed him because they don't know anything about European football. Their whole world revolves around the Premier League. So it was very much, who is this guy? I've never heard of him. What's he doing? He looks like a professor. It wasn't Man United fans. It was certain journalists who ridiculed him. Man United fans actually quite liked him, and we definitely wanted him to stay as the director of football. So it pisses me off when I hear that it was United fans who ridiculed him, because it wasn't. We wanted him to stay as the director of football. We didn't want him to be the coach. France is nothing special like past years. A lot of overrated players. They're missing Pogba. Germany are clear favourites, says DD, if you know ball. The refereeing in football as a whole right now is the worst I've ever known. Have we ever seen a worse ref era, says Connor. Thank you very much. I'm going to tweet about it. Mbappe may well have broken his nose here. Austria's next game, Mark. I'll be watching it. That's for sure. And I hope they win it. I think they're not going to end up with anything from this, but their next game's Poland on Friday at 5 o'clock. They need to win that. They need to beat Poland on Friday. But there's no guarantee they'll win that. I mean, I think Austria are going to be one of them teams that give everybody a game. But it's whether they can win some of these games, of course. But ultimately, if it stays like this, they've lost to an OG. Baumgartner has been Austrians' best player. If they go far, I can see him being the players clubs try to buy after the Euros, says HPN. Mbappe's going to get booked. Who's he booking? Deschamps? He's got his yellow card. I think he just keeps his yellow card out ready, this ref. Who's he booking? No, he's booking Mbappe. I don't know why. Oh, Mbappe was going to come off and then went on the pitch to sit down. Oh, I don't know. Bit of a joke, really. Austria remind me of Canada at the World Cup. Everyone a game, but might end up with nothing. Exactly, Stefan. I don't think I could have put it any better myself. I was trying to think of an example, and you've done it. Austria might well end up being a team that everyone looks at and goes, well done, but they just can't, you know, get the goals. Mucka says, I'll never understand Ronaldo clowning Ralf Rangnick. Makes me question his ball knowledge. Look, if you knew about Ralf Rangnick before he came to Manchester United, it's because you have a deeper knowledge of football than some people do. Like, there is a story behind Ralf Rangnick that a lot of people know, a lot of people don't know. Unfortunately, the media in the UK are very British-centric, and they had no idea who he was. So they came out with offensive stuff like Wreck-It Ralph and he looks like a professor. But actually, his background in football, especially in and around the German game, is massively respected. Vim has just gone down, clutching his face here. 9 minutes added on. No, that's not a penalty. He's just gone into some... He's done an Mbappe, hasn't he? He's literally done an Mbappe. He's headed the ball and then gone into the shoulder of Hernandez. So we've got... Wow, still got another 7 minutes to go here. Lehmer's gone off. Another cracking game. Another cracking game. You can tell it's a good game when you're actually watching the game a lot and noticing players and talking about it. I mean, look, there has been games in the past where we're talking about, you know, polar bears and stuff like that. And as much as I love a bit of wildlife, I think the testament to this game is that we really have been talking about football a lot in it. Kante, rolling back the years. Austria as a team, fantastically well drilled. Danzu gets a yellow card. I thought he was on a yellow card already. Yeah, it probably is a yellow card, that one. He just gets caught. His feet caught. What's the story with David Alaba then? Is he... How long has he been out? He's 31. Apparently Alaba is on the bench for Austria. Not as a player. He's doing a bit of coaching. Austria. A bit of breaking news here. The Premier League has removed its team news embargo, meaning from season 24-25 next year, team sheets will be announced 75 minutes before the kickoff rather than 1 hour. Giroud. They've got no pace though. Look at this. Absolutely no pace at all for Austria. Nice little flick there though. Bump Gartner. Oh, that's a bad ball. He's done well though. Cross. No, France have just got the numbers. I think France have just got the athleticism in this game that Austria just don't have that speed. Any EAFC Euros this week, says Gur. Well, it's hard because there's 2 o'clock games every week, so it's hard to fit one in. This ref is begging to have a chance to give someone a red, says Evan. And what a signing Lamar would have been for United. I think we would have been perfect. Yes, very good player, Dan. Giroud always seems to be good for a goal, says Neil. I was thinking about Giroud for the Golden Boot, but I didn't. I went with Ronaldo because I know Ronaldo will play more. But if Giroud was starting for France, I'd have put him down for Golden Boot. The ref is known for being horrible in La Liga's. He blew whistle mid-air and took a win from Real Madrid. He books a lot too. Oh, he was the guy who did the Bellingham thing, wasn't he? I know who you mean. I knew I recognised him from somewhere. Check out the podcast, by the way. Brand new out today. Scan the QR code or just go and give it a listen on Spotify. Goldbridge Saves Football. Portugal tomorrow night. And then we've seen everybody once. But that's not enough. I don't think you can judge everybody after one game. Lovely play here. Cut back. Oh, Giroud. Giroud. I think Danzo just got a little bit of a touch before it came to Giroud. Otherwise, I'd have backed him to score that. Bit like England then for France, isn't it? They've just got the job done, although Austria definitely better than Serbia. They've made them work. They've made them work. And I really hope that Poland and Austria is a good game. That's a pull. That's a shirt pull there, ref. You should have pulled your whistle. Blown your whistle, sorry. Oh, goal. Corner. Minute and a half to go. There's Alaba. Peter says that France didn't even score a goal, England did, so France are worse. Little dinky cross. Camavinga wins it though. And breaks on for France. It's into the box. It's gone for the corner. Clever play. He'll dive in a minute for the free kick. Kante goes for the corner. Might be one last attack here for Austria. I tell you what, the way that both teams have moved the ball around, especially Austria, has been very impressive. Baumgartner, how's he got the energy? That's not a great ball by Sabitzer. It's a terrible ball. Terrible ball by Sabitzer, that. That'll be it. Massively intriguing game. Thanks everybody who's tuned in. I've really enjoyed that. I think Austria have been exactly what I thought they were going to be. France, obviously, the OG has been the difference. I think Austria probably deserves something out of this game, if I'm being honest. But France have got the job done. And I really hope Austria aren't too downhearted and can bounce back in the next game against Poland. Because they're unlucky. They're unlucky. That's not to take anything away from France. They're a very, very good side. But Austria can't let that get in their head. They can't let that get in their head. Very, very good performance from them. And against Poland, they've got to do that again. And as somebody said in the chat, you don't want them to be the Canada of the World Cup, who played very well in every game but didn't get anything. Thanks everyone for watching. Absolute legends in the chat. We're back tomorrow with both games. Watch along. Looking forward to Portugal tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Make sure you tune in for that. But we've got Güler for Turkey against Kvaratskhelia for Georgia at 5 o'clock as well. Oh, no 2 o'clock game tomorrow, but they're back on Wednesday. And of course, I'll be on the nightstand tomorrow morning as well. Thanks everybody for watching. Thoroughly enjoyable game. So much of that talking about the football as well. Take care, everyone. I'll speak to you all in a bit.